All right, welcome everybody to the semifinals weekend of the Aus World Cup. We have plenty of banger matchups lined up, and starting with one of my personal most anticipated matchups of the weekend, we have Russia seed 4 up against Germany seed 6, two absolute titans of teams in the losers bracket. One team is going to win and go up against the winner of United Kingdom Chile in the following day, and one team is going to be knocked out. Commentating this match will be me, Vordy, and I'm glad to be joined alongside none other than the one and only Mavs. How you doing, man? How you feeling about this matchup?
Thank you for the wonderful introduction, Vordy. I'm feeling pretty fantastic. Me and you again here, casting on the Aus World Cup stage after that banger match of Oz-Poland last week. And here we are again with another, I hope to be, really close matchup. Russia and Germany, seed 4 versus seed 6, which on paper should be extremely close. And as well as looking at seeding should be extremely close, seed 4 and seed 6. And yeah, I mean, we've got a lot of extremely good and consistent players on both of these rosters. I'm looking at someone like Krilla from Team Germany, someone like Ciccone from Team Russia here. These players, performing admirably throughout the whole tournament so far, and I'm expecting this one to be very, very close.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. On paper, this is, I think, the closest seed matchup alongside UK versus Chile. So hopefully you expect to see a really, really close match. Did Ciccone just ban DT3 and DT2?
Oh.
Is that real?
A second.
Surely that's real.
Surely they've swapped bans.
Yeah. No,
I think they have swapped bans. Let's have a little bit of trolling for the stream here. I think the teams have swapped bans, just to give context to everybody watching from home. It is expected, this match, for Russia to be picking into speed. It seems like we've had the tiebreaker banned out. That's
the tiebreaker banned. So hopefully this match doesn't go 5-5, because then we do not have a map to play.
Yeah, we just don't have a tiebreaker. But yeah, Russia this match expected to be picking tapping and nothing but, at least for the most part, tapping and speed, etc. And Germany probably going to be looking into sort of hard rock, maybe tech, aim. And as we can see, Russia banning 2 speed maps. I'm going to have to say, I think they've gone ahead and swapped. I think they've swapped bans here, just as a little bit of a troll for the stream.
I think they maybe have. I mean, to be honest, Germany banning out the Hidden 3 sort of makes sense to me. I mean, Hidden 3 is a pretty tapping heavy map, 240 BPM. So that does seem like something Germany would actually ban. Germany banning Hard Rock 2 probably isn't something Germany would not necessarily ban. I do think the Hard Rock aim roster is really, really good. Obviously, Russia banning Nomad 5 and DT3 is interesting because despite the fact that both of these rosters have really solid speed tapping teams, I think Russia's tapping team is a little bit stronger. We saw both of these teams play Nomad 3 and DT2 last weekend. Russia outperforming Germany on the Nomad 3 speed map quite handedly, and Russia maybe underperforming a little bit on DT2, but despite that was still pretty close. So yeah, you would expect Russia to want to pick into speed in this matchup.
Yeah, you would expect Russia to definitely be picking tapping. It kind of makes sense sometimes for even the team that's tapping, favored, going into another really strong tapping team like Germany. Maybe they ban one of the tapping maps because they're like, we just don't feel that great on this one. We're not that comfortable. But to double ban tapping, I mean, it's surprising if this isn't. I definitely just off the rip expected this to be like a swap. Like they've agreed to swap bans. I've seen this before in tournaments. I saw this in in ANZT a few times. The Australian tournament, so it's a possibility that happens, because yeah, these bans are they're definitely out of left field, that's for sure, if they're not swapped.
Yeah, if they're not swapped, there is a degree of cooking here that I did not anticipate in this matchup.
Yeah, that is definitely for sure. But anyway, moving forward, I'm sure we'll get clarification on that later. Moving forward, first pick here is going to be coming out from, I believe, is this Russia's pick? I did not quite catch it.
It is free mod 4, so this is the high circle size, low pro trading map. I also did miss it. This does feel like a Germany pick on paper, but to see.
It was Russia.
Oh, it was Russia. Okay, interesting. Yeah, this is
yes,
a map.
Okay.
Markram coming into the lobby. We know how good Markram is at low pro trading. Hidden, anticipate him to pick the hidden. Probably Ciccone on Hard Rock, then maybe Gamer and Scrowell on double Nomad. That is going to be the case. On the side of Germany, we have Tim Kackner, formerly Carinya, I believe, on the Hard Rock, and Shiox on the hidden. So it's going to be Shiox versus Markram, the two resident low AR rating players. And you have Kriller and White Cat. I'll just be calling them White Cat instead of Black Dog 5 on the consistent nomads. So pretty low AR intensive map.
Yeah, so this one, it is CS6 without that Hard Rock. So with the Hard Rock on top, circles here extremely small for these players. And this is, of course, it is AR 7.5. So this is your low approach rate map in the free mod slot for the week. And it's got a lot of difficult reading inside of it, as well as a lot of overlaps, a lot of perfect stacks, as you're seeing here already. It's going to be catching a lot of these players off guard as we move more into the map. There goes Tim Kackner, though, the Hard Rock player down for Germany, but still 6 FCs on the board. Ciccone finding a very early break in this map, but it's almost a 4-way intact for Russia.
Yeah, I mean, the Hard Rock is going to make such a huge difference here. The circle size on Hard Rock is absolutely absurd. We see Shiox, Markram, Gamer, Screwball,
oh my God.
break. It's now only Ciccone on any combo on the side of Russia, and Kriller and White Cat are still holding the consistent no-mod FCs, and that's why it's so important to have your strong players on the no-mod, you know, the most doable mod to hold a combo on. And Ciccone, despite holding an extremely impressive Hard Rock combo, it's now gone. It's now just White Cat on the full combo.
Yeah, just White Cat here performing for Team Germany, holding the lone FC and the only significant combo in the entire lobby. We're only about a quarter of the map remaining here, and it's just White Cat, 600k and building. It's already a 200k score difference for Team Germany here. The longer he goes, the more he will secure this one, and I think at this point, he's done enough. Even if he is to miss, there's not enough combo on the side of Russia to pull back this score difference. There it is. First pick from Russia is actually going to be break pointed by Germany on a map that we kind of favored Germany on paper. So it's not to be unexpected.
There it is, White Cat with an extremely impressive no-mod FC on the low AR map. By far the biggest score in the lobby, showing what he's capable of in this at this level of play. That's going to be, yeah, as you mentioned, a breakpoint for Germany. And now Germany to pick, and let's see what they go for here. I'm almost expecting a speed map, like, for that first pick from Russia, to just completely flip the script.
Yeah. Of course, like, we definitely were expecting, you know, Germany to probably go into more gimmicky stuff and low AR stuff this match. You know, when you got players like Kriller on your team that have looked phenomenal on that kind of skill set all match. And then, I mean, White Cat shows up today and just puts that on for us, gets an FC on that map, which is extremely, extremely good. Hasn't been performing probably up to the standard he would have liked in some of his recent matches in the tournament so far, but that is a great start for the semifinals here.
Yeah, you know, exactly as you mentioned, I think White Cat is a player who everybody knows his insane skill cap on aim, on mechanics, and I do think he's been not performing to this level that people would anticipate a player of his caliber to be able to play, but starting off this match with a big FC, if this is anything to indicate for the rest of the match, we might be seeing quite a performance from White Cat here.
And now I'm curious. We're just gonna, you know, maybe ignore the narrative of the fact that they might be swapping picks and bans so far. We'll have to see, and just go with what we would expect here from Germany. And I think I would very much expect something gimmicky. So, you know, you've got your No Mod 2, you've got DT4, what else have we got?
Hidden 2.
Yeah, Hidden 2 as well. So there's a few solid picks there for Germany. Hidden 1 as well. Also probably a fairly solid pick. Like very tech intensive this time around.
No, it's DT1 maps. It's obviously double time.
Obviously Germany picks DT1 into Russia. I mean, you know.
This makes sense. Okay, to be fair, Germany does have White Cat, Kriller. I think both of them will be able to perform extremely well on this map. Especially now that the DT1s are pretty challenging. Germany is going to be good at DT1, but this is also something you would expect Russia to pick. This is going to be something Russia is going to have a fantastic 4-man on. Obviously, you can see Welter in the lobby. Welter is fantastic at these DT1s. Ciccone, fantastic at DT1s. Scrowell in as well. So despite the fact that I think Germany can perform well on this map, this is something I think Russia would want to pick. And now I'm once again thinking of this theory that they might be swapping picks and bans.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like that so far, hasn't it? It doesn't mean that Germany isn't good on this skill set. We've known that to be a very, very strong DT1 team. They are very solid on aim consistency as well as speed. Russia, of course, I think just being slightly favored on speed in this match, but of course, the DT1 isn't speed at all. It's just aim. There's pretty much no tapping in this DT1. Like, there's a few triples, maybe like 1 or 2 quints in the map. It's pretty much only triples and just aim. So, yeah, this is probably going to be really close, regardless of the fact of if they've swapped picks or not. I'm expecting this one to come all the way down to the wire. It is 278 BPM, so very, very high BPM at DT1 here. And yeah, like I said, not much tapping to go off, so we'll have to see who's feeling more consistent on aim today, because both of these teams are going to put up, I would imagine, very, very good performances on this.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you look at the matchup on the DT1 and qualities, obviously qualities DT1 a little bit easier, but you had an SS from Whitecat, an FC from Kriller, and some solid backing scores from Tim Kakner and Yeri, but you have Aimbot Cone coming in instead. So both of these teams can play very, very well, but Russia beating them out in the DT1 and qualities. We'll have to see how this goes. I do think this is going to be a situation. I'm going to be looking at Kriller and Whitecat to perform for the side of Germany, and we'll have to see if Aimbot Cone and Tim Kakner can also hold up as the backing players.
Yeah, and of course for Russia, you've got many players here that could pop off on something like this. Most notably, you know, you're looking at Ciccone, looking at someone like Scroll as well. These players extremely, extremely good for Russia. There goes Handsome Me early on in the DT1, missing a couple times, so you get adjusted to the AR. Sometimes at 10.3 can catch you off guard. There goes Tim Kakner, and there goes Kriller. 3 FCs for Russia now. Only 1 for Germany, excuse me. Whitecat finding a miss very early, so early advantage for Russia, but we've got 2.5 minutes of this to go as we move into the first difficult section.
There's some early comfort issues potentially for Germany, not settling right away into the high approach rating, high BPM. But Russia right now, other than that drop from Handsome Me, looking so steady, as Ciccone's holding that SS, Welter and Scroll both holding the FCs. But only a third in, still plenty of time for things to go wrong for Russia. Aimbot Cone drops, but so does Handsome Me, but Handsome Me was the smallest combo. But now pretty evened up with those 2 bricks.
Yeah, recovery building for Germany here, almost halfway through the map. They've got 3 big recoveries, no FCs, but they're all fairly close to it, all within 150 combo of an FC on those 3 big ones. Aimbot Cone found the miss, but yeah, still those 3 huge combos being beaten out by the 3 FCs from Russia here as we get into the only section in the map that has like any form of tapping. We saw like 1 quint in it, a few more triples, but again, primarily just aim. Here as Scroll finds the miss, there he is, gone. 2 FCs for Russia now, still 2 big combos for Germany as Tim Kakner did trade that one from Scroll there. So 2-2, but the combos in Germany, they're not quite FCs, so that is just going to favor Russia more and more as they move to that. There goes a double reset!
That's
Everyone is down! All 4 of the big combos gone in the lobby. Both on Russia, both on Germany, gone! As it's now Handsome Me with the biggest combo, he's gone. It's Scroll here to hold it down for Russia. With the only notable combo left, it's going to be enough since it's already 230k in their favor. That is going to be it.
I mean, the difficulty of this pool at the semifinal stage is being highlighted. Every single player, so many massive names, so many high-ranking players, and not a single person full comboing this map. Russia just a little bit more consistent, a little bit more comfortable. Will it take that, quote-unquote breakpoint? Scrowell with the S rank. Ciccone as well, over 99% AC. Super comfortable on the tapping on this map. But that is going to be Russia to trade that breakpoint, which I'm hesitant to even call a breakpoint, since I'm still a little bit sus on the picks here, but we'll have to see what Russia goes for. If they go for another gimmicky map, I'm gonna be a little bit sus.
I'll be a little sus. There might be an imposter among us if that is the case, 40. We'll have to see as Russia here think on their pick, and yeah, it is gonna be Free Mod 3 this time around, which is going to be actually this one. It's very much just a hybrid map. This kind of has a bit of everything in it. You've got some tapping in here, you've got a lot of aim, you've got some really, really ridiculous stream patterns, as well as some 1/6 bursts in here. So this map has definitely got it all. And of course, LMT, we love LMT.
Yeah, this is something I can actually imagine Russia picking. When you consider this is 260 BPM, it's roughly a similar BPM in terms of aim tapping to the double time one. Does have a lot of tapping thrown at you as well, but I think Russia can more than handle that. I think that suits the speed player playstyle. Especially, I think as well, if you're fast enough to single tap this map, which I think there's definitely going to be some players on Russia who are, that just adds an extra level of comfort. I'm curious to see what the modded players are going to be. It's going to be very, very dense with hidden, and the extra consistency with Hard Rock is going to make this a lot harder. I think Germany's probably going to once again opt to probably have Kriller and Whitecat on no mod, just to have some really, really consistent combos like they did on Free Mod 4, and it paid off quite well.
Yeah, I mean, for Germany, like you said, you're expecting that Kriller Whitecat no-mod combo, always the 2-star players of the team on that no-mod to bring in the consistent scores, and you're probably looking at Okinamo on the hidden, as almost always for Germany on these free mods. Okinamo just that staple hidden player for them on a lot of different free mod picks. And for the fourth, you're probably looking at either Tim Kakner or Frodor to come in here for the Hard Rock, but we'll see what they're going to opt for, as for Russia's side, of course, you're going to have Welter, Gamer, Dasuk, and Scroel here. Ciccone actually not going to be in this time around for the Hard Rock. He has been their staple Hard Rock player for a lot of free mods this tournament. Last week, actually playing 3 of the 4 free mods. Only 3 of the free mods were picked, and Ciccone was in for Hard Rock on all 3 of them. So this time around, actually stepping out, and I'm not too sure who we're going to see on the Hard Rock for Russia now.
I would think Welter or
Gamer, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it would be Dasuk. A little bit surprised not to see Ciccone on this map. It is going to be Welter on the Hard Rock. Now, I do know Welter is an exceptional Hard Rock player. I think he's mostly known as a DT mechanics and slash speed player, but he's also very, very skilled on Hard Rock. So he can definitely put a good score, a good score on this. Still surprising not to see Ciccone as, your most consistent, all-around best player not to be in this map, especially for a map you picked. But we'll have to see how it goes. Could pay off if the rest of the players are prepared.
Yeah, here we go. Getting into the free mod 3. Dasuk finding an early break, as well as a bunch of early breaks here from Germany. Whitecat and Tim Kakner are going to fall. So early on, same story as the DT1 so far. 3-way FC here from Russia, just the 2-way for Germany. But man, seeing FCs on this map is going to be pretty impressive, especially on these modded players, because there is a stream, I think it's about halfway through the map, that is just really, really ridiculous. It's not even just one stream, it's like a section. We just have the most awkward, uncomfortable streams known to man. And I'm curious to see who can get through them. You can see here a couple little bursts, but everyone looking fairly comfortable, as there isn't too much in this section.
There are some ankle breaker patterns in this map, and if even a single player can get through it with a good combo, that could alone be the difference maker. But so far, pretty much all of the combos have been recovered, all of those early breaks have been fixed up. So it is anybody's game. I think it is really going to come down to what, as you mentioned, when the weird streams come up, who can get through it. Whitecat dropping, though, on that relatively slower section. It's going to be unfortunate for Germany. It's going to be one of the, most consistent combos you'd anticipate on the no mods. You're going to have to rely more so on the modded players, which is always scary on a map like this.
Yeah, this is going to be very scary for both of these modded players on Germany, and they're going to have to hold onto what is a really, really brutal stream section coming up right now. Here it goes. Some of these angles are ludicrous. Okinamo is down. Dasuk is down. Tim Kakner is down. No one getting through this relentless section. Welter falls too. It's only Gamer and Kriller to hold on to the FCs. Whitecat, though, holding onto the combo through that section is going to give advantage to Germany. The 400 combo doing a lot here for them, as Gamer, the sole FC for Russia, holds on for dear life up against Kriller.
These two combos from Gamer and Kriller are everything for the respective teams. If either player drops, it's going to start swinging the score lead the other way. So unfortunate as well that Whitecat dropped on the slower section, because he did get through the hard part. It would have been handedly Germany favored had Whitecat held that combo, but Whitecat breaking once again. Gamer and Kriller are still holding. It's just those two big combos. The recoveries are there on Tim Kakner, Scrowell, and Welter and Dasuk, currently favoring Russia with those recovery combos, but Gamer needs to hold to match Kriller.
Streams, more 4 streams, man. They're both going. Gamer and Krill are just hitting it all, man. They're not letting up whatsoever. Hitting all of these ridiculous stream angles. Both going on the FC. These big recoveries from Russia is going to give them a very, very solid cushion here. Dasuk did find a reset, but still the 2 700 combos from Welter and Squirrel going to be offsetting Germany's recovery, but there goes Squirrel. Just Welter and Gamer now up against Kriller and Tim Kakner.
And Gamer and Kriller are both just going. Neither is relenting. It's still Russia favored as long as Gamer holds through, and I think he does. These 1/3s, these can trip you up if you don't focus. Okinama breaking near the end, but Gamer got it, matching the FC on Kriller, and that extra little bit of consistency from the backing players on the side of Russia gets them their first, actual non-breakpoint.
Phenomenal performance there from both Gamer and Kriller, putting up ridiculous scores for their team. It's one thing to get an FC on a map in this pool, and it's another to get an FC on a map that has so many ankle breaker streams, as you described it. That is very impressive to get through all of them without dropping combo. Very, very phenomenal stuff there from both of those players. And some solid backing scores as well. Welter with the solid 600k on the Hard Rock is nothing to scoff at. That is a very good Hard Rock score. Squirrel coming in with the 500k. So yeah, Russia just barely taking that one. Unfortunate for Whitecat. As we said, he did hit that difficult stream section halfway and missed on, I think, like almost nothing earlier before that. So losing out on a lot of combo might have made the difference in the end, but Russia are going to be taking it.
And I think it really shows the depth of Russia's roster. I mean, they did not have Ciccone in that map, arguably their best player. And despite the fact that they didn't have Ciccone, they still won their pick. So their roster goes deep. They have plenty of players who can play maps at a high level. And noticeably, the Gamer sub in and Gamer performing very, very well with that massive full combo. It is going to be Germany to respond with a pick of their own. Russia now up 2-1. And Germany picks double time too. Okay, so depending on the outcome of this pick is going to justify whether or not the speed bans from Russia were troll or not. We'll have to see.
Yeah, of course.
If Germany goes crazy on this, then okay, Russia was right. But if Russia wins this, which on paper I feel like they definitely can with their insane tapping roster, it's gonna be interesting for Germany.
Yeah, I'm definitely expecting Russia to be favored on this one. It is, however, a Germany pick. See if the narrative holds up here. You're going to have some ridiculous players in here for Russia. Ciccone, Welter, Din already in the lobby. But Germany, they have a very, very solid speed roster themselves. So we'll have to see how things go. But in terms of comparisons, qualifiers, Russia comes out on top for speed. Last week's match, Russia has come out on top for speed. Mostly, I think they did lose the DT2 to Germany, but it was like a slight underperformance from Russia, looking at the scores. So I'm expecting Russia to take this one, but there's always room for another underperformance like they did last week on the DT2. I believe it was the DT2, where Germany did actually win it over Russia. But, I'm not expecting that underperformance again here from Russia, as they're going to have their full roster in the lobby here. Ciccone, Welter, Din, and Squirrel going against Aimbot Cone, Frodor, Okinamo, and Tim Kakner here on the DT2. Here we go. Getting into it. It's going to be Germany's second pick.
Yeah, I mean, this map is mostly 228 stamina and finger control. It does have a few 1/6 patterns, I believe, which puts it at over 300 BPM for those specific patterns. It can definitely trip you up if you're not ready for them, but I'm sure all of these players are ready. So far, out the intro, everybody holding onto their combos. Russia with a little bit of an AC advantage, but I do think those combos aren't going to last forever. You're definitely going to see some breaks. The question is on what team?
Yeah, and not only do you have a lot of finger control and stamina tests to deal with in a map like this, you've also got some awkward stream shapes. There is a little bit of aim in here in a couple of these stream shapes. You can see already, some of them are a little bit awkward in how they angle themselves. There goes Okinamo, there's Squirrel, Din, all gone. 3 FCs for Germany, just the 2 for Russia. As coming out of the first Ki, Germany are going to be favored here, still holding on to the 3 FCs, but Welter and Ciccone doing everything they can to hold off this Germany advance as they do take the lead. 30k in the lead already. But we're going to have to see another miss from Germany here if Russia want any chance of taking this one back.
Yeah, the accuracies from Ciccone and Welter are currently helping. They both have the tied highest accuracies. Not tied, but both have the highest accuracies in the lobby right now. But this extra full combo from Germany is going to outdo that slight AC advantage. However, if Germany does find a break, it's going to start swinging to Russia pretty fast. But right now, Tim Kakner, Frodor, and Aimbot Cone all looking so solid on this GT2. If they can hold on for a little bit longer, it's going to look really good for them.
Yeah, as we get into this next KI, you can see some of these stream angles, man. It's going to be catching off Tim Kakner. There's the miss that Russia needed. And now that's not the one they needed. Welter finds the drop. It's just Ciccone, but there goes Aimbot Cone to trade. Ciccone matching Frodor and Scroll matching Okinamo here. It's pretty much even across the board, but Germany have a 180k lead. And that's just going to give them so much wiggle room. As Din finds another break, that's not going to be helping them whatsoever. You can see some of those 1/6 coming in. The boss sliders catching off Ciccone. Frodor holding on for the Germans. A quarter of the map remaining, and that's probably going to be more than enough. Phenomenal performance from the Germans here.
Frodor on pace to have a huge FC, and the pool is so challenging at this point. This map is an absolute monster. Full comboing this is no laughing matter. He's about to do it, proving us wrong. Germany indeed does have a tapping lineup that can more than compete against Russia, even take points off of them, as Frodor is on pace to get the full combo, and he does it. A monstrous score from Germany, beating out the Russian tapping roster by almost 500,000 score. And yeah, I mean, quite a pick to win against Russia.
Yeah, fantastic stuff there from Frodor. That is a name change from like Zyfrost, not sure how to pronounce it. But yeah. So very, very good stuff from them. The 1.1 million FC on the map. And that's going to tie things up. Back-to-back break points here as it now moves back over to Russia's pick. And we'll have to see if they're going to pick some more gimmick after that first pick. I suppose their last pick wasn't really gimmick. That was a fair free mod 3 pick from them. Yeah, but we'll see what they go for here. I would be expecting... Ooh, what would we be expecting? I am not too sure. They don't have much left that I would really favor them on, quote unquote. I think there's a lot of coin flip maps left in this pool, and there's a couple picks that I think Germany still have that is quite solid for them. Something like Hidden 2 and No Mod 2, still quite good for Germany, but for Russia, we'll have to see. They could maybe try and pivot into AIM, see how they're going on that today. There is a couple free mods still left in the pool. They have double picked free mods so far. So we'll see what they're going to go for. You got any thoughts on what they might go for here, Woody?
Yeah, honestly, this is a tough one to call. Russia does go for the hidden one, so they go for the alt techy hidden. Not really alt, mostly tech heavy hidden. I think this is a pretty short map as well.
Yeah, I think it's one of the shortest in the entire pool.
151, so sub 2 minutes. Blink and you'll miss it. This is definitely going to be one where even combos out the intro are going to make a big difference. Very, very challenging map. This will test Russia's gimmick reading roster a little bit more. Yeah, another pick that's a little bit surprising, but I've been surprised this entire match, so...
Yeah, I'm just used to it at this point. I think we're just taking the punches as they go here. You know, we'll think about it later, but yeah, this hidden one is pretty much, if you played many OC tournaments or watched many OC tournaments the past few years, your traditional hidden 3 slot where you'd get a hidden map with a lot of tech and a lot of aim control, cut patterns. That's kind of what you're getting here in this hidden 1 slot here. But of course, still a lot of aim in this one, but a lot of aim control specifically, some finger control, just a lot of tech stuff and a lot of cut patterns. So we'll see. It comes in very short as well. So one little fumble, one little misread in the middle of this map on a hidden tech map as well could cost it. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I mean, the tech lineup from Russia is very, very strong. Scroel, fantastic tech player. Markram, amazing on hidden. Same for Dasuk and Ciccone, just overall a very well-rounded player. I do think the Russia tech lineup is actually very, very strong. I just do think Germany's hidden roster is a little bit scary. But notably, you know, this map is AR 9.8. It doesn't really test the reading aspect of hidden as much as it does just test the tech mechanics that are within the patterns in the map. I do think this is still something Russia's going to feel pretty good to pick, but I mean, the length is so scary. A single, you know, rough miss will make such a huge impact to your score.
Yeah, Russia going to be having a lot of the players we expected to see on this one. Skrull, Chaconi, Dasuk, some of their cores really, really strong on just almost everything. And Markram coming in, who performed phenomenally for them on the Hiddens in qualifiers, going to be in here for the Hidden Tech pick. Always a solid fourth on maps like this for them. And going up against here, Whitecat, Krilla, Okinamo, and Tim Kakner. Kind of the four we've been seeing the most play from Germany a lot of this tournament. Of course, Whitecat, Krilla, Okinamo, ones you would always expect. Tim Kakner as well, being in for a lot of different maps. In for this hidden one as well. So,
and I mean, notably for this map, I think I'll be looking at Kriller on the side of Germany. He is a monster at these types of maps.
Ridiculous. Extremely consistent on any sort of tech or gimmick in general, no matter what mod, by the way. The guy is just a freak of nature on almost every skill set in the game. So here we go, into the hidden one. Blinken, you'll miss it, as you said. We're already a quarter of the way through the map now. As we get into the first difficult section, you can see some of these cut doubles already coming in, along with a lot of high velocity slider patterns, but no one missing. There go two players, Markram and Okinamo, finally finding some breaks, as well as Tim Kakner. 3 FCs for Russia, 2 for Germany. There goes Okinamo again, but there goes Whitecat. Now it's 3 FCs for Russia and only the one from Krilla on Germany.
I mean, as we mentioned, Kriller performing to the standard that we put him on, but still 2 FCs on the side of Russia is outperforming that by quite a margin. Chaconi does find a break in the middle, but so does Dasuk. And now it's only Skrull to match Kriller, and Kriller is a worrying player to have to match on a map of this skill set. Getting through the slider stream, Skrull has quite a lot less accuracy than Kriller, but as long as the supporting combos from Russia hold, but they're gone. Dasuk and Markram both dropping. I think this is going to start swinging towards Germany soon.
That slider stream, by the way, was absolutely ridiculous. Also worth noting, Dasuk's miss was Bancho, but he did find a real miss there. And there goes Skrull, gone. It's just Krilla to hold on here for the Germans. There goes the score lead. It's already 160k. It is more than enough here from Krilla. Absolute monster that this guy is on tech picks, man. There it is, 98.41% FC on the hidden one, and some solid backing scores from Whitecat and Okinamo to boot.
And you know, the overall foreman of Russia was pretty solid there, but this is the scary thing about picking into one of the best hidden tech players in the entire game and picking a hidden tech map. If they FC, especially when the pool is this hard and you don't expect that many big scores, that single full combo will outdo any potential, you know, 4-man roster issues, and Kriller is showing what he's capable on that skill set. That is going to be the second point for Germany, and if Germany can win their next pick and consolidate it, they're going to be looking really, really good going into the later half of this match.
Yeah, and worry starts to arise here for Russia, because as I was expecting this match to go, I was kind of expecting Russia to have a lot of really good picks early on, and I think as the match went on longer and longer, I was expecting Germany to have more picks left in the pool. And as we get deeper into it, Germany has already taken a lead here, and they've got a pick here to consolidate, which is not looking good because, I mean, like we said before, they've got a couple really strong picks left here. They have a very good chance of bringing this to a 4-2. I'm looking at this hidden 2, I'm looking at this no mod 2, possibly the DT4, but we'll see what they're going to go for here. I think no mod 2 or hidden 2 makes the most sense to me. There's of course that no mod 4 as well, also worth mentioning. Just Germany's a very, very strong tech team, but no mod 2, no mod 4, hidden 2. We'll see what they're going to go for.
You know, no mod 4 is interesting. You could definitely, I mean, Russia did pick the hidden 1, which was a pretty tech-heavy map, so they might not be too upset about playing another tech map, giving that skill set another try, especially without hidden. Might make it a little bit more comfortable for them. Yeah, as you mentioned, Germany seems to have quite a few good options, and if Kriller plays as Kriller does and gets some FCs, as you mentioned, the no mod 2 is being picked, Tarte, Tatin. This is a pretty mixed skill set map. You have a lot of ult, a lot of flow aim, a lot of rhythm, finger control, cut doubles. This is quite a mixed bag, but definitely fits into some of Germany's strong players.
Yes, the map name's like, I think it's French. I think if I remember Aza pronouncing it on the showcase, I think it was like Tate Tapan or something like that. God, please forgive me if I just completely butchered that. But yeah, this map is it's nothing like your traditional no mod 2. It is not a stream pick really whatsoever. This map, like you said, it's got a bit of everything. It's very, very awkward overlapping patterns here. a lot of alt patterns and just some really weird reading and reverse sliders in here. So a lot of room for misses and a lot of chances for Russia to possibly take a break point. But we'll see as rosters here are settled into the lobby. MP Start 5 is in. It's going to be Whitecat, Krilla, Okinamo, and Frodor here on the side of Germany, going up against Skroel, Ciccone, Din, and Dasuk for Russia. There we go as we get into the No More 2.
And you have to hope that somebody on the side of Russia can match whatever Kriller puts out on this map. If it is anything like Hidden 1 again, it's not going to look too good for them. I do think that the 4-man of Russia is going to be really, really strong, but you really want somebody to match that big Kriller score if he's able to do it again.
Yep. We'll have to see if Kriller can put up the performance he just did on that Hidden 1. He's here and he's here to play. And an FC on this in match would be pretty ridiculous. This is a map that I've actually played extensively, and I mean, FCing a map like this is very difficult, especially in a match. We'll have to see if anyone can put up some huge combos. Dasuk finds the break for Russia, as it's now still 7 FCs, favoring Germany. There goes Frodor to find the miss. 3 FCs for Russia, 3 FCs for Germany, as we move into the first difficult section soon.
Okinamo and Zeitfrost both dropping in that early section. Kriller and Whitecat, the 2 remaining combos. Kriller does find a break, but Whitecat now, the one to hold. Insane accuracy right now, but it's still Ciccone and Skroel on the full combos, 2-1 to Whitecat. But still very early on into the map. This is a pretty long one. A third in, plenty of time for Russia to recover, especially if Whitecat can hold.
Yeah. 4 players getting through, well 5 players actually getting through that difficult section, but only 3 of them holding an FC right now.
Oh,
Skroel finds a miss on the 1/3
section.
section. That's not the section you want to be missing on. Definitely one of the more free sections of the map.
But
that reverse slider, there it is, those funny reverse sliders we were talking about. Finding Whitecat there, gets the break. It's just Ciccone now for Russia with the big supporting combo from Dasuk. Going up against just Frodor and Krilla with attempting to make a recovery. But there goes Ciccone, finding the miss. It's only Dasuk for Russia in this next difficult section. Frodor finds a miss too. It's Krilla versus Dasuk, but that combo, Dasuk is down. It's just Krilla. It's only Krilla. It's 100k. There's enough time. There is definitely enough time here for Germany, as they built up a couple recovery combos alongside Krilla's recovery. Whitecat and Okinamo also going strong.
Kriller to find the recovery. Zeitfrost getting a few more breaks, but it's so close, and there's the break. The players on the leaderboards. Whitecat actually on an S rank, which is pretty wild, but the recoveries for Germany are just a little bit better, and if Kriller can hold on to this recovery for a little bit longer, it's gonna start swinging the other way on this insane Floem section. The score lead has now flipped over to Germany, and if they hold on for a little bit longer, this is gonna be Germany 4-2. But Krilla does find a break.
Oh, Krilla's down! Oh my god, it's 9k!
And now it's Skroel and Ciccone and Dasuk, all with the big recoveries matched by Whitecat and Okinamo. It's going to be so close. It's going to come down to the wire here. I don't know if Russia has enough time to take this back.
This ending session is so missable too.
Drop from
Zeitfrost is down. It's 7k, 5k. It's flickering back and forth. The recovery from Russia. The recovery from Russia is slightly bigger. Is it going to make the difference?
God.
Yes. 9k for Russia, and they take the No Mod 2 in spectacularly close fashion. Krilla doing his best work to hold on to that ending combo, but it was Whitecat in the end with the biggest score for Germany. A phenomenal accuracy from him, 99.42% S rank, but it's not enough for the Germans as Russia take the break point by 9,000 score, man. Wow.
That is a gut-wrenching break point if you're Germany, but a well-needed one for Russia to even up this matchup back to 3-3 going into their 4th pick. And yeah, you gotta feel like you got away with murder there. That is a rough one.
Yeah, a player to miss. You know, the player to miss there at the end, Krilla, the one you don't expect him to miss on a map like that. Even, you know, twice missing on a map like that. He's very, very consistent on stuff like this. Finds that really unfortunate break towards the ending, and it was enough for Russia to take things back over, but that's not to say it was all on Krilla by any means. Not at all, but very, very unfortunate breakpoint there for Germany. Russia taking it very, very close, 9k, and now Russia to pick. And I'm gonna be honest with you, Vorty, I don't think they have too many options. I'm thinking maybe Blue Zenith is a possibility here, but I'm not certain. I think that is also a very good German pick.
Yeah, I mean, Blue Zenith, I think Germany's going to have some fantastic full inconsistent players. You know, White Cat, Kriller, Okinamo, at the very least, and you'd anticipate them to have a fourth of that as well. Yeah, that's a scary one to pick if you're Russia. They go for Nomad 4, so they're staying with tech. They're not dissuaded by the hidden one loss. You know, that hidden one loss was mostly by Kriller's insane performance. I think the overall comfort from Russia was a little bit stronger there, had Kriller not performed to that insane level. This map as well doesn't have hidden slapped onto it, might make it a little bit more comfortable for Russia. So, you know, the same goes as before. I do think this tech team is very, very strong, and if they're a little bit more comfy on this Nomad 4 rather than the hidden one, this could go well for them.
Yeah, and I mean, you said it before, on the hidden one, Russia did look like the more consistent four-man on that. They had better average scores, but just that performance from Kriller was more than enough for them to take the hidden one. We'll see if he can replicate something of the same here on the Nomad 4, as this one is going to be a little bit different for our tech picks that we've been seeing all tournament. This one is a lot of crazy sliders, high-velocity sliders, a bit of slider spam, as some would call it, and some very difficult accel, decel, stream patterns as well mixed in. It's a little bit difficult on this map to hold on consistently if you're not a super comfortable tech player, just with the way some of these patterns play out. They're kind of like spaced triples that end on a slider pretty much for the whole map. So it's just awkward to aim, but we'll see how they're going to hold up as we get the players in the lobby and we're about to get started. It's going to be Scroll, Chaconi, Handsome Me, and Gamer going up against White Cat, Kriller, Okinamo, and Frodar here on the Nomad 4.
I do think, as you mentioned, if you compare to the Nomad 4 last week, which was way, I think a step up maybe in terms of straight up mechanics, but a lot more comfortable of a Nomad 4, this is a lot more, you know, more of a wacky, gimmicky Nomad 4, lots of weird angles, more of an emphasis on slider aim. Which I do think, you know, suits really, really comfy tech players, because it is something that is a little bit more of a niche skill set of the tech skill set slot. We'll have to see if Russia has what it takes. Germany, you saw what they did on Hidden 1. If they can get another break point and Russia can't get another break point like they did on Nomad 2, you know, it might look pretty good for them. We'll have to see early on into this Nomad 4.
Yeah, worth mentioning that, like, the Hidden 1 is a very different kind of sub-skill set of tech compared to this Nomad 4, so they do have very vast differences in that sense, but still both tech maps. As early on we get a little bit of a troll from Bancho, and I have a feeling we're going to be getting a lot of that, as on like slider maps with a lot of slider ticks, Bancho just seems to do a little bit of trolling. So we'll see if it holds up. The 8-way into the first Ki here, and this map is only 2.5 minutes long. Everyone holding on. Okinamo, though, the first to break. White Cat follows up. 2 breaks for Germany, as Russia holding on to a strong 4-way. You can see
Kriller as well.
A lot of these space patterns. Kriller is down.
It's just Zeitfrost on the side of Germany. Handsome Me dropping for the side of Russia, but it's still 3 full combos to 1. And if Russia can hold these 3 combos, never mind, Scroll and Chaconi both dropping. It's now just Gamer to match Zeitfrost. And now could potentially be very, very close. Gamer dropping!
Oh, Gamer's gone!
Just Zeitfrost! It's just Zeitfrost once again.
It was Bancho.
Never mind. Yeah. Okay, as you mentioned, Bancho doing a little bit, and Scroll, and okay, never mind. Nobody broke.
Oh, it was all Bancho.
It was all Bancho. Russia is still 3-waying. Zeitfrost still holding as well, but Russia well favored. Bancho just a little bit mean on these slider tick heavy maps. I can't tell if that was a real gamer miss or not. I want to say maybe that was, but still 2-1 in that case with some recoveries from White Cat and Kriller.
Bancho TF, man. Why is just trolling all the time on maps like this? There's 2 misses for Russia, but God knows if they're real or not. Yeah. Zeitfrost finds the miss. We don't know if that one's real, but we're going to find out soon. Kriller and White Cat building up recoveries, but this FC from Chaconi is going to be more than enough with already a 400k score lead. That is a very, very good score from Chaconi there. Is that an FC actually? Yeah, I think so.
I think yeah, just the accuracy in slider and drops might lower that score a little bit, but that is a huge full combo from Chaconi with an average scoreline for the rest of the team above 500k. You have that consistency in the roster as well as that big combo from Chaconi. overall that's performing at a higher level, and that same level of comfort just wasn't there on the side of Germany. Zeitfrost with a well-earned S rank, but still, that looked really, really good for Russia.
Yeah, Ciccone was there that time to match Krilla if Krilla were to do the same that he did on Hidden 1. Ciccone was here this time, and it would have been enough for them even if Krilla put up a ridiculous score. But this time it was Zeitfrost almost pulling it home for Germany, but not quite, and unfortunately it wouldn't have been quite enough even if he was to find the FC. But still a very, very phenomenal performance from Zeitfrost there with the 640k S rank, the triple S rank from Russia. Great stuff from them, finding their footing on tech after the unfortunate loss on the other tech pick. So that's going to be a bit of a confidence booster for them. It's never good to go into a match like this to double pick tech and to lose tech both times.
Yeah.
Like, that is just that's kind of a crap feeling. So, it works out on the tech skill set for them. And now it's going to be Germany here. And they've still got some solid picks left in this pool. I'm looking at that low AR Hidden. And I'm possibly looking at Blue Zenith, which I think is a good pick for either team. But we'll see if anyone wants to go Blue Zenith. I know the chat wants it.
I would love to see Hard Rock 3 being picked. It's an interesting one because of the length of the map and the consistency of it. That's really a map where you expect to see some carry performances and don't expect to see too many full combos. But Germany picking No Mod 1. And this was something we talked about before the match. Germany has a fantastic aim roster. Obviously Russia does as well, but I do think the aim roster in Germany is going to be really strong, notably with Kriller and Whitecat. This No Mod 1 having some spice in it as well. It isn't just pure aim. Obviously that is the hardest part of the map. It has some other patterns that can throw you off. 4 minutes as well, very, very consistent. Going to be very, very challenging to get a big combo on, but you look at Whitecat, one of the best aim players in the entire game, to put up a big score for Germany on this map.
Yeah, this map, some very, very big aim, and I think if I recall correctly, a couple of awkward jumps in terms of a little bit geometric in terms of squares and stuff, but mostly just pretty close to a generic No Mod 1 all in all things considered. There is some Excel and Decel streams in here which you got to watch out for too, which can catch the players off if you're not quite prepared. It's not only just aim and raw aim, so that's also something to take into consideration going into this one. But here we go, No Mod 1 from Germany. I do think they're slightly favored on this. As you mentioned, that Whitecat Kriller combo on a map like this is going to be very solid. But they're going to be going up against Dasuk, Ciccone, Welter, and Skroil here. Also a very solid 4-man for Russia. 4 of their best mechanics players for sure. Germany, Whitecat, Kriller, Tim Kakna, and Okinamo here to try and fight and take their pick. Not let Russia get to match point.
It is always scary picking a No Mod 1 when you're this deep into a very close match that's looking like it might go to tiebreaker. But at the same time, if you want to win tiebreaker, I think winning No Mod 1 first is quite a good precursor. We see an early break from Ciccone and Welter as Dasuk and Skrull still hold, but it's still that 4-way from Germany in this intro. You can see already some of the jumps are almost cross-screen. Okinama finding a break there.
Yeah, you can see if you don't like squares either, a map like this is going to be hell for you. But yeah, a couple breaks early on. Still the 3 FCs for Germany as Ciccone finds another break for Russia. Welter trying to build a recovery, but it's still 2 FCs for Russia and still the 3-way for Germany. As you can see, some of this aim, and there's some of the accelerating streams I was talking about. No, not catching anyone off guard though. See this Kiai, such huge aim. Some cross-screen aim in there, more squares, but everyone getting through it comfortably. There it is, a quarter of the way through the map, and Germany still with 3 FCs intact.
Some high slider velocity that might also throw you off. Some big spacing there. Okinama and Welter finding breaks. Can't blame them, but still that 3-way. Kriller does find a break though, and Tim Kakner as well. It's now only Whitecat, the player you would expect on the side of Germany to hold big combos on a map like this, but he needs support because it's still Dasuk and Skroel on the full combos, 2-1 on Whitecat, but I mean, with how long this map is, Skroel and Dasuk need to hold these combos for quite a long time to really, really secure the score lead.
Yeah, it's over 4 minutes long, and we're not even halfway through this map, as there goes Welter, not the combo that matters for Russia. Still the 2-way FC intact, but there goes one of them. Skroil finds the miss. Tim Kakna gets another reset. Again, not the combo that matters for Germany. It's Whitecat, and it's all Whitecat up against Dasuk. Ciccone with an unanswered recovery combo as Okinamo and Kriller find the misses for Germany. The 2 recoveries down. But there goes Russia's recovery. Ciccone also finds the break. It's only Dasuk and Whitecat now at the halfway point, both going strong for their countries. It's a 50k difference between the two teams here, and it is all on the shoulders of both Dasuk and Whitecat.
And Whitecat missing! I was just going to say, Whitecat is one of the last people you want to be 1v1ing on an aim map at high stakes tournament level, but Dasuk is the one to carry that full combo, Whitecat dropping, and now if Dasuk can hold on to this full combo for a little bit longer, I think he's shaking just a little bit, but if he can hold his nerves of steel, this will be a Russia breakpoint.
Yeah, the recoveries for Russia are also really strong, much stronger than that of Germany, so even if Dasuk is to find a miss here, if the rest of his team can hold on to these combos, it is going to be enough. Already with that 230k lead, and still going as we move into the final quarter of the map here shortly. No one finding trip-ups on those accelerating streams. Whitecat finds another reset, but it's all Dasuk, baby, as he's going strong for the Russians. A quarter of the map remaining, 1500 combo and climbing. He's just going off. I mean, you just gotta see if he can FC it at this point. Everyone's just got to cheer for this FC, because it's going to be enough for Russia. Can Dasuk do it?
You know what's awesome about this team right now is you've had so many different players pop off. Dasuk does find a break. Unfortunately, will not be finding the full combo, but he's still done way more than enough to secure this point for his team, as Ciccone, Skro, and Welter are all holding those big recoveries as well, up against Germany, who doesn't really have any combos other than Kriller on the recovery, but I mean, you've had several different players carry their respective maps on the side of Russia, really showing their roster depth and their variety. But this will be a massive breakpoint for Russia going into their next pick, and if they can convert on it, it's going to be an early defeat for Germany.
This aim at the ending is just ridiculous, man. How do you hit any of that? I mean,
Welter's scroll, yeah, I think 5 players hit that entire ending. Kind of insane.
Yeah, 4 or 5 players somehow hit that ending. The aim is just a fully cross-screen, just ridiculous stuff. But unfortunate miss for Dasuk, doesn't find the FC, and I think Nerve's getting to him at the end of that map, finding 14 misses. Whitecat with the 99.49% S rank.
Oh, that is tragic.
Heartbreaking. But I think the silver lining for Germany there is, I think even if Whitecat was to SS the map, I still think Russia won it. So
yeah,
that's that. But still a phenomenal performance from Whitecat, and a very, very phenomenal performance here from Dasuk, the 730k, and that is another break point on the board. 5-3 match point to Russia, and Russia to pick. They have a chance here to close things out early, but what do they go for? They did just win the aim map quite handedly, so maybe Hard Rock 1 is looking like an option for them.
And Germany did ban that Hard Rock 2, and that's the precision pick, does have a good amount of tapping in it as well, but Hard Rock 1 is also a pretty, I would even say a more generic aim map than the normal one.
For sure.
So if Russia's feeling good on that aim consistency, they could go for it. I think the Hard Rock team on Russia as well, I think they might even have maybe a stronger Hard Rock advantage than Russia, notably looking at players like Ciccone and Welter to be really, really comfortable on the Hard Rock. There's the timeout as well, so there'll be a little bit of a pause as Russia really ponders this pick. This could be a crucial one. If they win their pick here, they can seal the match out, not letting it get to tiebreaker. They've secured tiebreaker at least for themselves after that breakpoint on No Mod 1, but yeah, the fact that Russia's thinking on this one as well means it's not an easy decision to make.
Yeah, absolutely not. They've got a few things here I could imagine them going for, looking at something like Hard Rock 1, Hard Rock 3 even. Like, No Mod 3 is still an option. I don't think it's better than the other 2 options. I think that one, snap alt maps like that, I think Germany's very, very good at. I'm mainly looking at these Hard Rocks, and of course the free mods are still up in the air, I would say. But I'm wondering, are they going to want to go for their strongest pick here, or maybe do a solid for the fans? Is the Hard Rock 3 going to be on the table?
Yeah,
for them?
look, I would love to see a Hard Rock 3 Blue Zenith pick.
Yeah.
That's what we want. I'm not sure if that's the correct decision to make, because as we mentioned, some of the flow-in players in Germany are pretty ridiculous. I don't really know if you want to pick that map. I think there's more sensible picks, and I think with the stakes of this match, you gotta pick to your strengths and not necessarily to the memes. And you're in losers bracket with everything riding on the line, but still would be cool to see.
Yeah, a reminder as well that the loser of this match is going to be going out of the tournament in top 12. It's going to be Seed 4 versus Seed 6 in the lower bracket semi-final, and one of these teams is not going to be making it past top 12, which is pretty ridiculous, and that's not even the worst of it this weekend.
Oh, that's not even the worst
stuff, man. The other side of that lower bracket, I don't even want to think about it.
The other side of the losers bracket, regardless of the outcome, is going to be historic, and I'm keen to see it.
But they are going to be pondering still on their pick. And, you know, it's one of those situations, maybe if it's like they're picking between Blue Zenith and something else, and it's like a 49% Blue Zenith, 51 the other way, maybe they go Blue Zenith for the fans, but no, they go Free Mod 1 instead, which is something else I figured they could dip into. They have liked the free mod pool this match, and this one is going to be kind of just, it's going to be more aim, I would say. Definitely an aim-oriented map, but you know, some more awkward aim in comparison to No Mod 1 and Hard Rock 1, I'd say. And it's AR9 as well, which is also something to mention.
Yeah, some of the awkward aim with the added extra bit of density that AR9 holds. The AR9 192 BPM isn't going to be super dense, but it is going to be those awkward patterns, as you mentioned. Lots of back and forth, lots of geometric patterns that can definitely throw you off if you're a No Mod or particularly the hidden player. For your team. I expect to see the same free mod roster for Germany. Probably expect to see Okinama on hidden, White Cat Kriller on the no mods, Chaconi probably hard rocking on the side of Russia. We'll see if Markram comes in for the hidden, but it might actually be somebody else. It might be Scrowell, as Germany feels their last remaining member. I think it's going to be the hard rock player to come in.
Yeah, I think usually you would see Markram in on a map on like a free mod pick for hidden for Russia, but probably opting for maybe some of the stronger mechanics players for Russia here, as this map is fairly mechanics intensive. I think at about 2/3 through, there is an absolutely ludicrous aim section as well, which is something to keep in mind. If I'm remembering correctly, it's kind of just like it's either star jumps that are just repetitive, like cross-screen star jumps that just repeat themselves, or they're like hexagons. I can't quite remember, but regardless, it's like a really stupid aim section 2/3 through. So that's something to keep an eye out for as players ready up here and we get into the map. It's going to be Gamer, Chaconi, Welter, Scroel going up against Tim Kakna, White Cat, Okinamu, and Kriller. And this is for Germany's life in the World Cup 2023. They could be stepping out here. They could be stepping out of the tournament. We'll have to see if they've got any more fight left in them. Can they bring things back to a tiebreaker? Here it is. Free mod 1.
And it's going to be that double hard rock on the side of Russia. Welter and Chaconi, both fantastic hard rock players, so I do think they're opting for that extra little bit of AR10 comfort. You know, it is also CS 3.5, so hard rock doesn't add as much difficulty as it normally would to a map like this.
Here we go. Getting into the map here. Starts off fairly slow. Not too much, I think players are going to be finding misses on here early, as we now get into some uncomfortable back and forth jump patterns, but no one finding any misses here. And as you can see, some of the anti-aim already coming in. Okinamo, the first to find a break on that hidden. One of the tough mods for this, that AR9 hidden on some of this anti-aim is very tricky to get through. And as you can see, Okinamo falls to it. But Russia, 4 FCs intact.
I honestly do think for this map in particular, hidden a little bit harder than the hard rock, just because that CS 3.5 doesn't make hard rock as challenging as it normally would if it was CS4. And having that really strong hard rock comfort, having two players who are so good at this mod on this map in particular, is going to be a big boon for Russia, because I think you can kind of trust those hard rock combos a little bit more than you normally would. Scrowell missing on that hexagon pattern. That is both of the hidden FCs gone on both teams, and it's still two no mods up against two hard rocks. That is going to be Russia favored because of the mod advantage.
Yeah, you see these hidden players finding some struggles. It's always a little bit of a breath of fresh air when hidden is the harder mod on free mods. You know, it's hard to find maps that kind of fit that narrative. I think most of the time, hard rock usually always the harder mod, but I think this time around, hidden. Probably it's going to be quite uncomfortable just because of that CS 3.5 like you mentioned. But Bancho having a little bit of a... Okay, hopefully Bancho can kind of clutch up here. I hope Bancho clutches up. It does! Okay. Dude, Bancho clutched up heavy there.
Let's go,
Bancho. That's good.
Oh my god.
This stream section is super uncomfortable, you can see. already some of those weird angles, a little bit similar to the DT2 in that sense, but Squirrel finds a miss there for Russia. That's not the one that matters, because that is the hidden player. They've still got 3 strong FCs. As we move in here, it is 2/3 through the map, this aim section I was talking about. And they're just still going out of the triangles. Oh, Russia holding onto a 3-way! And the 3-way still for Germany as well. It's only the hidden players finding any misses. What is this? What is this performance from the lobby?
I mean, breaking on hidden is entirely expected on those patterns at AR9, but the fact that we still have 6 other remaining combos at this stage in the map is absolutely insane. If a single one of those break, it's going to advantage the other team. Oh no.
Oh, I hope that's not a disconnect.
Oh, okay. I hope that is not a disconnect.
With it as Germany holds onto the 3-way. Russia, you can assume Russia still has the 3-way here, but not anymore. There's a trade though. Gamer and Whitecat trade the FCs. It should still be 2 FCs to 2, assuming Ciccone actually held on and his score is going to get submitted. We'll have to see. But there goes Welter, and now all of a sudden, everything rests on the shoulders of Ciccone, the player who's not even appearing in the lobby right now, as it's still the 2 FCs for Germany, Tim Kakner and Krilla holding on strong for the Germans into the final 6th of the map here. And I'm starting to think, even if Krilla was still FCing in this lobby, it might not make a difference at this point.
Yeah, even if Ciccone held onto this full combo because Tim Kakner and Krilla held, I don't think that would have mattered. I think the score cap would have been already too high, and I think this will be Germany, regardless of if Ciccone FC or not, will be taking this breakpoint, taking the match 5-4, and now they have the opportunity to pick the map that will get them to tiebreaker.
There it is. Germany taking a breakpoint on Free Mod 1, and yeah, as we said, I think even if Ciccone was to have SS'd that map, I don't think it would have mattered, as I believe his score when he DC'd from the lobby was still in their total score at the bottom there. So yeah, Germany taking that one no matter what, if math is serving me correctly. So there it is, and now it's their pick. Germany to pick here. And oh man, it's surely
everybody does. You know what's funny? Other than Hard Rock 3 being the map everybody wants to see, I unironically think it's also a good map for Germany to pick.
Yeah,
I think it's a little bit scary because I think Russia will have a fighting chance on it, but I kind of just rate the Floim consistency players, especially because a map of Blue Zenith's caliber, you're not really going to be expecting many full combos. It's going to come down to 1 or 2 massive players to really stand out, and I think Germany has those players.
Yeah, but alongside that Hard Rock 3, you're also looking at something like Hidden 2, I think is historically a very good German pick. They're very good on their low AR. We'll have to see if they can do one for the fans here, but I'm expecting, I think, either a Hidden 2 or Hard Rock 3.
I love
bias aside for Blue Zenith.
I love how those are the most polar opposite skill sets in the world. You have AR8 awkward, like, hexagon aim versus just pure Hard Rock stamina flow aim. It is, you couldn't have 2 different skill sets, but unironically, I do think both of those picks are really good for Germany.
Yeah, I think that's what we're going to be expecting. I mean, the No Mod 3 is always an option as well, I think, for Germany. They're pretty solid on that, but I think I'm definitely expecting Hidden 2 or Hard Rock 3 more so, as well as DT4 being an option. Like, Germany, like I said, they've just got way more options in this pool later, as the match goes later. But, I mean, Russia have been playing phenomenally so far, in this match. As you can see, they are in the lead, so, you know, maybe I'm wrong on that. so far, they've been proving me wrong.
I mean, regardless of the outcome, always love to see a close match like this, regardless of who wins. Germany, as Russia really thought hard on their Free Mod 1 pick, they're going to take the time out and think about their pick. A minute left on the timer. Once again, it's a tough decision for them, as it would be for anyone.
Yeah, this is the lives of both of these teams in the Oswald Cup, not only to go out of the tournament, but to go out in an underperformance. Both of these teams are expected to be in the top 6 if you go off shooting. Oh, unfortunate. It's not going to be Blue Zenith. It's going to be the Hidden 2 here, the AR8. I think this is the one, if I was to give favor between Hidden 2 and Hard Rock 3, I'd give like a 55% to this map, 45 to Hard Rock 3. So I think this one makes more sense on paper, but yeah, look, everyone's upset about that. It is what it is, but as I was saying, the lives of these teams in this tournament, they are both expected to be top 6, and here they are fighting to stay alive in the tournament in top 12, man. Seed 6 and Seed 4, and it's going to all come down to this AR8 Hidden. Can Russia close things out early, or are we going to be seeing a tiebreaker?
Oh, yeah. I mean, regardless, for Germany to win this match, they have to win tiebreaker. This is Russia's chance to close this match out early. Not giving Germany that opportunity, but if Germany wants that fighting chance to stay alive in this tournament, they need to win this map, and this is quite a low AR Hidden map. You'll see pretty early on, but yeah, the aim comfort you need on low AR to play this map to any competent level is pretty absurd, and I expect to see a lot of misses on this one.
Yeah, this map, I mean, there's not too much really reading in this map whatsoever, but it's kind of just raw mechanics AR8 aiming, and they're just constant like hexagons that just pop up. It's very similar to that some of the patterns we just saw in that, what was the map we just saw, Free Mod 1. Some of the patterns in here are like kind of similar, which is interesting because I mean obviously the maps in terms of approach rate and stuff are very different, but some of the awkward aim is a little bit similar there, and I think it could actually lead to being a good pick in that sense, as players are in the lobby and getting ready here. But yeah, a little bit of flow aim in this one as well, but primarily just some very, very awkward aim on AR8 and fairly difficult mechanics-wise as well, especially for an AR8 pick. You can see 6.5 stars. It's pretty high for an AR8 map as players are getting ready to go here.
Even then, I would say the star rating is heavily underrated. Even if this map was like a high approach rating, this is a brutal one. You're going to see pretty early on. I do think this is going to be one of those maps where you might just have a single player on your team who has a big score on this. For Germany, I think that big standout low AR player is probably going to be Kriller. You have Shiok stepping in as a low AR specialist for the Germany roster. On the side of Russia, you have a pretty solid hidden team as well. We're going to be trying to take this breakpoint away from Germany. Let's see if they can do it. But this is going to be a tough one, and here we go.
Yeah, already getting right into it, and this is what we're going to be seeing for pretty much the whole map.
They're dropping
no
like flies.
one is... yeah, they are dropping like flies indeed. Markram's gone, Dasuk's gone, Handsome's gone, Okinamo, Whitecat. It's just Scroel to hold on for the Russians, going up against Shiox and Kriller. Shiox doing admirably right now. That low AR hidden player coming in for them, their roster, putting up a score right here that is making the difference for their team. They are going to have that extra FC moving into the second quarter of the map here.
An extra full combo is all the difference right now, as well as that accuracy that I will not speak for Shiox. Okay, it's gone. Good. That's good. That takes the nerves away. Hatsumi finding a break as well. Markram and Dasuk on the recoveries as Scroel holds onto that FC to match at least one of Shiox or Kriller. But I do think when we get into that second big jump section, you have some other patterns here to trip you up, and it's going to be the second Kuru section.
Oh,
Scroel both dropping, but it's still Shiox to hold.
Whitecat as well finding the drop for Germany. That was another really big recovery. He was only 100 combo behind an FC, but it's just Shiox now, the hidden player for Germany, coming in for these low AR picks. Gotta be... No! Finds a miss on the linear aim there right before the big hexagons. But a couple players to trade for Russia. It's just Handsome and Dasuk here for Russia going up against Okinamo, but it's already a 200k difference.
And that's all of the combos gone for Russia. It's only Scroel just hitting 100. Okinamo on the recovery. And the score lead that Germany has already amassed is going to be extremely difficult for Russia to overtake. Because, comboing this map is no joke. And currently Russia has no combos to start off with.
Oh man, this is just the biggest 300k map I've ever seen in my life, man. Like, this is just ridiculous. No one in the lobby is really able to hold on to anything. Only Okinamo here, who's going to be making all the difference for Germany as we get close here to the final quarter of the map. Okinamo with a big 500 combo into the ending, and it's already a 300k lead, and I just can't see Russia holding on to many significant combos to try and pull this back. with how difficult this map is, with
Yeah.
how things have been going so far, I think we might just be seeing a tiebreaker, ladies and gentlemen. Okinamo finds the miss, but it's 300k, and there's no time left in the map. Germany bringing it all the way back from 5-3 here into the tiebreaker.
With a massive breakpoint on Fremont 1 and winning this hidden 2 pick that we talked about them having an advantage on. Notably that massive score from Shiox, stepping into, I believe this is their first map of the lobby and
Second,
performing, second map.
I think it's his second.
But performing extremely well on the skill set, top scoring the entire lobby with a huge 570k with some massive backing scores on the side of Germany. And this will be tiebreaker, and I think this is the second back-to-back match we've casted that's gone to tiebreak. I think our luck is unfair that we get to witness these.
My luck this OWC with casting matches has been ridiculous because I've casted a tiebreaker. I've casted one tiebreaker every single round of OWC this year. I casted one in round of 32, round of 16, quarters, and here I am casting one in the semis, man. I just can't believe my luck this OWC. Here we are. It's gonna be N-verse and Osu original for the World Cup 2023 semi-finals tiebreaker. I'll go through my notes here. Big thank you to Holisha, the artist of the song here, putting this one together for the World Cup. Big thank you to Harawaki for the background on this map. Our mappers as well, Captain One, Deca, and Risen, a big collab here coming together to make this tiebreaker. And big thank you as well to Encryption and Hokichi for the storyboard. Here it is, the custom World Cup 2023 tiebreaker, and man, this is a tech map if I've ever seen one.
A handcrafted map at every level, at every stage, just for this moment, as both teams are 5-5, fighting for their life in this World Cup semifinal stage. And yeah, a banger of a map, as you mentioned. And you know, if this is a tech-heavy map, that might be something Russia likes to play. You know, they did win on that No Mod 4 by a good bit. They did like to pick into that hidden one despite losing it. If this is anything like the No Mod 4, this might be, you know, something Russia likes to pick into or likes to play. But at the same time, Germany has that momentum going from 5-3 to 5-5. They've won the last 2 maps. They're riding that train, and if they can keep going, this could be quite a recovery, quite a reversal.
Yeah, this map, interestingly, like, Russia did win that No Mod 4, right? And then Germany won the hidden one. This one's kind of just, when you think of tech, it's kind of just all tech. It's not like a separate skill set of tech. This has kind of got a bit of everything, so it's going to be hard to call. You know, so far we've had 2 tech picks in the match. Russia won one of them. Germany won the other one. So here we are into this tiebreaker, and I mean, not only does this have ridiculous tech patterns the whole way through, it's also got some really stupid stream patterns as well that are also worth looking out for as we get to like the halfway point and beyond. But here we go. For the lives of both of these teams in the World Cup, it's going to be Chikoni, Gamer, Skroel, and Welter going up against Krilla, Okinamo, Whitecat, and Zeitfrost here. Here we go, the tiebreaker. Both for these teams' lives in the tourney.
Both teams fielding the best four-man they can, the big ballers, the ones who have every skill set to the highest degree that they can. They'll need it for this map that has a little bit of everything, as you mentioned. And tiebreakers like these, you don't expect too many players to hold combos. We see some early breaks from Welter. But really the question is, as this map progresses, who has the nerves of steel to carry those massive combos? It's going to be Whitecat, Okinamo, and Skroel all breaking. It's still 2 full combos for either team out this intro.
Yeah, just 2 players on either side holding strong for their respective countries. We're only about an eighth of the map through the map here. This one is 5 minutes long, but there goes Chikoni, one of the FCs down for Russia, as now we start to move further into this map. These combos are going to start to matter more and more as we get deeper. Still the 2-way here for Germany. Krilla and Frodo holding on for the Germans, going up against Gamer, and there's the pause. I swear our custom map has put these pauses in on purpose.
That was on purpose.
They know.
That was on purpose.
They know. Yeah, they know. They put these pauses in on purpose at this point. It's to build the nerves, to build the hype here for the players. But yeah, I mean, Gamer, he's going to be very nervous moving forward. Obviously, you're the only FC remaining on your team, but we're still early days.
Would love to see a live heart rate monitor of all of those players after that break. See that spike up as Kriller and Zeitfrost are still holding on. Gamer doing his best to fight up against this lineup from Germany. And Gamer drops!
Oh, Gamer!
It's now only Kriller and Zeitfrost on those full combos out the intro. Welter breaking as well. That's only Scroll on the recovery for Russia. Zeitfrost has break, so does Whitecat, but it's still Kriller and Okinawa for the side of Germany.
Dude, Zeitfrost hitting 50s on that entire stream. It was a miracle he didn't break, but finds the miss after. It is all Kriller, baby, yet again. Being supported here by Okinawa. Kriller holding on to the FC in this tiebreaker. As we start to approach a halfway point, there goes Okinawa, and who is it? No, I was about to say he's the only one left. There he goes, Kriller's down. But it's a 170k lead for Germany, with still over 2.5 minutes in the map remaining.
Another break!
For Russia to make a recovery and another break. Just to tack on some more nerves here. Please, please indeed, Ciccone.
He is praying to Scrowell to hold this combo that is the only significant combo in the lobby. And if he can hold on to it, it's going to do damage. It's going to start swinging that scoreline back. But the nerves of steel you need to have to hold on to this combo on this tiebreaker at this level with the stakes that this match holds. It is really one to test the player.
I mean, hey, if you want a player holding on for your team, Scroell's going to be a pretty good shout. Very high-ranked player in solo. He's going to have the skill cap for something like this. And he's going to be going strong for Russia here into this very difficult section. Finds the miss on that cut pattern. You cannot blame him. That was a ridiculous pattern to hold combo through. Finds the miss. Gamer, though, holding onto a big combo for Russia, but it's being matched by both Whitecat and Kriller. Germany have an unanswered combo on the board, and I'm not sure there's much Russia can do as we move into the final third of the map. But we're going to have to see. Any miss could make a difference at this point. It is 170k in the favor of Germany, and we'll have to see. They're going to have to drop more combos here if Russia want a chance in this.
With the score caps on the match, Kriller does find a break, so does Zeitfrost. It's now Whitecat up against Gamer, but it's already almost 200k score advantage to Germany. Russia's going to have quite a good run on this ending to take back the score lead. It's possible.
There goes Whitecat.
With that break from Whitecat, it's doable. Gamer needs to hold on to this combo. It's the only one left in the lobby. He has the ability to do it. If he gets a good recovery from the rest of his teammates, this could happen. But in this ending section, the tech goes crazy. Can Gamer hold on to this combo?
Oh no, we cannot get two banger tiebreakers in a row, back to back. Gamer is going for the Russians right now, 150k. I don't know if there's enough notes left in the map for him to make the comeback, but he's got 3 big recoveries on his team. Gamer has to hold for the Russians. There goes Kriller, there goes Okinawa. All of the Russians are holding. Welter found the drop. There goes Gamer, he's down. 100k difference, and I think that's probably going to be it. I think Germany are going to take this one with that drop from Gamer. Just barely at the ending.
With that break from Ciccone as well, that one of the last recoveries. It's now only Scrowell, but with the score lead from Germany, I don't think there's enough time. Yeah, that is going to be it. Germany will be taking this match back from 5-3, winning 3 maps in a row, including the tiebreaker, and they will be moving along in the semifinals bracket to move against the winner of UK-Chile.
Oh, another banger on our hands, Wardy. There it is.
Oh my god.
Germany taking it 6-5 in tiebreaker fashion. The big comeback from them. And a phenomenal performance from all of their players. Very, very good average scores across the board. That is a type of map where it's like 400k is very good. Like, that is really hard. As you can see, Germany, man, taking it in the end. It really looked like it was going to be Russia. At some point in that match, Russia were looking like the favorites moving into the ending of that match. They had less picks, I would say, on paper going into it, but they were just playing better. Germany making a very, very solid comeback and winning that one out for them. But that is going to be a big congratulations to Germany and commiserations to Russia, who are going to be moving on out of the World Cup. Seed number 4 is gone in top 12, Wardy.
Yeah, quite an unfortunate loss for the Russians. They had a fantastic performance. They put up a fantastic fight, but it will be Germany to move on. And we will be swapping this match right along to Poland versus China. I believe that swap will be happening right away as it is about to start. The rolls are coming out, so that is going to be it from me and Mavs. An absolute banger of a match to cast, and we will be seeing you for the next one.